can tell by my change of a shirt that it's time for a new video. I've got this miniature here from the Soul Wars box, Night Haunt. It's called Guardian of Souls, which is nice, I guess, having someone guarding your soul. It doesn't look nice, but you know, appearances can... whatever. I've pretty much finished with the miniature itself, but I've left the... It's got some kind of a smoky flame coming out of the lantern. That's what I thought I'd paint. And I'm not really sure of how I'll be going at it. It's some kind of wet blend thing. It's also the first time where I want to try and get some light streaks going on the lantern itself, like to get the effect of there actually being some kind of light in there shining, which I've never done that before. So that's why I wanted to film this. I've had a look at the how Games Workshop has painted theirs. It's sort of got a green, yellow kind of a thing, and I like that color. So I'll probably be doing pretty much the same with mine. I picked out some colors, which is a Vallejo colors, or model color, whatever you like to call it. There's a deep green and a flat yellow. And so I'm going to try and wet blend them. And in both of them, I'll probably mix in some of this Beal Tan shade, just to get them a bit more spooky, I guess. So we'll see. I guess the thing with smoke or light, I mean, I want this portion here to be, I guess, more yellow. And whatever crevices, I guess, is supposed to be a brighter color. And then the outer parts are supposed to be dark. That's sort of how a fire usually works. It's sort of bright in the middle, and then it's a bit yellow, and then it's red, and then it's blackish smoke. I've got my wet palette going. If you don't know about wet palettes, check it out. You can just search on YouTube or check out my video. Oh, some kid is not happy. I'm going to be putting these paints, the flat yellow and the green, in my wet palette. And I'm going to add a little bit of retarder medium, which is basically something that keeps the paint from drying all too quick. Once you're painting, it sort of makes it act a little bit more like an oil paint. But I'm going to add some of this Beal Tan wash, just a little bit into both of the colors. Probably more of it into the green. Don't want to get too much green in the yellow. Here we are. Spooky, snotty green, yellow, and then the green. Now when wet blending, you know, it's basically you use several paints and paint with them at the same time, blending them together, so you get sort of a smoother transition between the two, instead of, say, painting yellow first and then painting on the green after the yellow is dry. I guess yellow in the recesses and a brighter yellow around, or more yellow around here, and then the more green as we progress. So I'll start with the yellow in here. Just try not to get as much on my lamp standard thing here as possible, because I really like the way this turned out. This sort of oxidized copper thing going. When wet blending, it's usually easier to try and take things in sections, not do the whole thing at once. That's my wife banging stuff. Now I'm just gonna go and do exactly the same thing again. Now that the paint is dry, just I guess enhance the vibrancy of the colors and get a better coverage of stuff. So this isn't going to be all that exciting because I'll just be doing exactly the same thing again. But there you go. The last or second layer of wet blending is done. I'm still thinking the yellow should be a bit brighter, a bit more yellowish. So I'm going to go in and just layer brush on some yellow one last time. Pretty good for me. Now it's time to start with the reflections of light on the lamp and maybe a little bit on the arm. I'm kind of happy with the way it is, but I just want to try and do that because I've never done it. I'm guessing these should probably be the opposite of how I've painted the fire or smoke or whatever. So I'm going to do a bit of green first on the lantern and then go in with the yellow on top of that on smaller surfaces, so that it's just the edges closest to the light that are bright. I'm going to add some more dollops of water here in my wet palette, just so that I can really dilute this paint in green, because I don't want it to cover up too much of whatever's underneath. So I guess I should be going for the areas that would be hit by reflections, which are pretty much the inside. So I just grab some yellow and mix in with this and some more water. So just doing the same thing again, but just really where it supposedly, I guess, should be even brighter, which is just up here around the fires themselves. It's looking kind of smudgy and messy, but from afar I kind of like it. It looks like it's glowing a bit. I'm just going to add some fresh yellow and just really try and just paint the absolute edges, like really thinly. There we are. It's looking a bit messy, but you know, holding it at a fair distance, it's quite alright. I want to tone it down a little bit. I'm going to use a wash, but I'm going to dilute the wash. You're going to use Beal Tan and then dilute it with contrast medium, just to get, because I don't want the wash to get too much into the recesses, because the recesses are supposed to be brighter. But I still want to change the tone a bit of this. The Beal Tan will make it a little bit more spooky, and maybe it'll just pull back some of those yellow highlights a little bit. So I'm mixing this into one of these, just so that I don't contaminate my contrast medium. And I'll just grab some of this Beal Tan, mix it into the contrast medium, and hopefully this won't make my yellow recesses all that dark, but we'll just have to see. It's a bit messier than I would have wanted it to be. Looking up close, sort of at a gaming distance like this, works for me. That last layer of just a thinned out Beal Tan for me really sort of tied it together. I also added a bit more concentrated Beal Tan on the yellow reflection spots that I thought were sticking out too much. In retrospect, the area here on the arm, which I just sort of did, I'm going to have to cover up a bit of that, so that mainly there's just reflections on the hand, because when it looks like this it should really just follow all the way. Strange that the reflections stop. Otherwise, that was the first time I sort of painted ghostly smoke and reflections. I hope you liked watching me do that. Maybe it could inspire for you to try something similar, maybe do a better job at it than I did. Please leave comments if you're wondering anything. Like, subscribe even if you're inclined to subscriptions. It helps spread the videos around, so that's great. You can also check out Instagram, same as the channel, 52 Miniatures. Should be the same thing on Instagram, where I just pop up pictures of things I paint. That's pretty much it. And you can follow me there as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.